A prolonged spell is sweeping across parts of the Horn of Africa. In 3 regions of Ethiopia, drought is affecting over 8 million people. A project of reforestation is underway in the country, as eucalyptus trees are being replaced by endemic species which are more resilient.
For the soil and biodiversity balancing, these endemic are very good. It is very important compared to that eucalyptus trees, the soil fertility and the others.
Ahead of the UN's COP27 meeting in Egypt, Ethiopia is adding its voice to those of other African countries. They are calling for more financing to flow into the continent to assist the fight against climate change.
Allocation of climate finance, and in particular grants for the poorest and the most vulnerable, is a particular concern in debt-distressed context. The OECD estimate indicates that climate finance flow to least developed countries and the small Iceland developing states has never passed 20% of the total public climate finance provided and mobilized by developed countries per annum.
The continent's negotiators for COP27 say over $3 trillion is needed in climate financing by the year 2030. Africa has dubbed the COP27 as the COP for Africa and the COP for implementation. The continent's negotiators are determined to campaign to have developed nations not only implement the commitments they made much earlier to the continent, but also open up more flexible financing that will have the continent invest in better adaptation and resilience measures. The UN Economic Commission for Africa says, in the meantime, Africa should position itself to invest fast in energy production and agriculture. That could allow the continent to send goods to Europe, which is currently suffering reduced supply due to the Ukraine conflict.
Inside the conversation of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, can we have that conversation that says, we have gas, I just talked about the availability of gas in mostly, I think, maybe we would say our northwestern borders and a little bit of our eastern borders, fertile land in our southern parts of the continent. We could begin to have that conversation of how do we, ensure that Egypt creates maybe 6 million jobs by buying wheat from southern Africa as opposed to bringing it in from outside the continent. We can also export, of course.
Experts also insist that Africa's private sector must be part of the climate change discussion. They want local businesses to support climate financing as the continent awaits more external support. Coletta Njohi, CGTN, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.